Implementation overview. How we set up the evaluation. First thing we ask you to do is identify a group of target learners. You will then use the What Word Teaches platform to randomly allocate these to the intervention and the control group. Complete the pre-assessment spelling test with both groups. The intervention group will use the spelling strategy and the control group will continue as business as normal. Then you will complete the post-assessment task. The system will then generate an impact report at the end of the 6 weeks, and then if this is successful, you can open this up to your control group. Planning. Step 1. Identify a group of learners to participate in the evaluation. Step 2. Identify 50 challenging words from the National Curriculum Guidance. These will be introduced by 10 new spellings over 5 weeks, and then you will select 20 words to use as the pre- and post-assessment task. Please note that the number of words depends on your school's expectations for the number of words taught per week, so it may be more than 10. The minimum is 10 words per week, and this will create a list of 50 words over 5 weeks, with the final week being a consolidation. Whilst we advise that you use the DFE spellings, you can use different spellings if these are from your school's existing schemes of work and you follow the same process. E.g., a minimum of 50 words are selected, with 20 of these words being used for the pre- and post-assessment. In step 3, using the trial wizard on the What Word Teaches platform, randomly assign learners to the intervention and control group. Implementation. Step 4. Complete the pre-assessment spelling test with both the intervention and control group. Record the marks in the Excel tracker located in the resource folder and input this into the pre-test on the trial wizard. Step 5. For the intervention group, deliver the targeted intervention. Use professional judgment to decide the frequency, whether it's daily or weekly, and log this in the process evaluation. The control group will continue with business as usual for the duration of the trial. In step 6, at the end of the 6 weeks, complete the post-assessment spelling test, which is the same as the pre, to both the intervention and control group. Record the marks in the Excel tracker, and then input this into the post-test on the trial wizard. If you then complete the process evaluation and then click Analyze, it will generate an impact report for how this has worked in your school. So the intervention focuses on Year 4 pupils. It is a targeted intervention for small groups, and it can be set as homework. In the process evaluation, please indicate the frequency, so how many times a week it's been delivered, and each session will last approximately 10 minutes. The intervention is the look, say, cover, write, check. Method of spelling, where children study a word, say the word aloud clearly, pay attention to the spelling, cover it up with a piece of paper or their hand, write the spelling next to the original word, check their version to see if they got it right, and then write the correct spelling again if necessary. This version of the strategy emphasizes reading and saying the word aloud to help connect the written and spoken word. So how to select the spellings. DFE Primary National Curriculum includes guidance on the expected spellings for Year 4. Please use this to create a list of 50 words that you will select for the intervention. If you already have your spellings decided in your scheme and these align with the DFE, this is fine. Each week, the learners will practice 10 new words as a minimum using the strategy with a teaching assistant. In the resource folder, you will find a template on a Word document. You'll also find a one-page guidance for the assessment and also some frequently asked questions. In the resource folder, you'll also find an anonymized tracking spreadsheet, which allows you to link a student on our system to a student on the platform. Finally, logistical issues need to be considered before using a targeted spelling strategy as an intervention. So is there a suitable time for the delivery of this in the school day? Is there a suitable location, such as a library or classroom? Will you have reminders on the day to remind the students? Can you print off the resources in advance of the sessions if these are required? And will you link this to rewards? So logistical barriers are common in any intervention that's delivered in schools, so it's just important to consider these prior to starting. Then just moving on to the assessment, the outcome measure is attainment as defined by the pre and post assessment spelling test. The assessment is marked out of 20 and it's the same for both the pre and the post assessment. As both the control and intervention groups receive the same assessment, familiarity with this should not bias the effect size. and you will find a one-page handout in the resource folder for guidance. And then finally, if you can complete the assessment under test conditions, allow approximately 10 to 15 minutes, provide an example of the word in the sentence for each spelling, and then if you can record the pre and post assessment scores, the tracking spreadsheet, and then input these into the platform. So that's the end of the guidance. If you now move on to downloading the research protocol and your resource folder, then just enter the trial wizard to start.